Dave and Darren's Top 5 Things here at NachoRadio.com and DaveandDarren.com. These are the top 5 things that we got done on our morning show, which you can hear at Planet 93.9. We're online. That's something you want to check out. You want to listen to the station, download the app. That wouldn't hurt our feelings. But we're glad you're here doing this, listening to our podcast. If you get a chance, leave a review on iTunes of the podcast. Won't you, please? My name is Dave, and here's the birthday boy, Darren Pitra.
I think you're going to like this. This podcast is brought to you by Nature's Treatment of Illinois, Tech Drive in Milan and West Main Street in Galesburg. Milan, they're open every day. Galesburg is open weekdays and Saturdays. The Milan store offers both medicinal and recreational. Galesburg is recreational only. The recreational waiting lists are available. You can reserve your time. All you have to do is go to the website. That's ntillinois.com.
Let's get into it.
Number one.
There's this lawsuit, and I feel like I could join in on it because it's a class action lawsuit.
Okay.
And
Sign me up.
I feel like I've been wronged. It's possible you've been wronged as well.
Okay. I don't even need to know the specifics. Sign me up.
This complaint alleges, well, I mean, it doesn't allege it, it full out states a class action lawsuit that King's Hawaiian Rolls are not made in Hawaii.
Okay, well, I think I kind of knew that.
Did you? Because it says on the package, Hilo, Hawaii.
Oh, yeah?
On the front package, it says Hilo, Hawaii, and it, it's got that orange, it looks like it's from Hawaii.
I think I'm okay with my fresh rolls not coming all the way from Hawaii.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I guess I'm down with that as long as the recipe is from Hawaii.
Of course, they don't make these things in Hawaii and then ship them here. I mean, that probably makes a lot more sense, but I think I was willing to just kind of turn that part of my brain off that thinks critically when it came to these delicious Hawaiian rolls.
Okay.
You know why they taste so good? They're from Hawaii.
Oh, are they?
Oh, yeah.
Why are they so dry?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's the other side of the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't really have the best ingredients. Yeah, Hawaiian Rolls, King's Hawaiian Rolls are actually made in Torrance, California.
Mm-hmm. Which is far enough away.
Yeah, that might as well be Hawaii as far as we know, right? Yonkers, New York resident Robert Galinsky, named plaintiff in this complaint, bought a pack of King's Hawaiian Rolls from his local Stop and Shop earlier this month and realized that the information on the label seemed to contradict itself. Hilo, Hawaii is front and center on the package, he says. That gives the impression that King's Hawaiian Rolls are made right there on the island. But if you look on the back in a much smaller font, you'll find that these rolls are actually made in Torrance, California. So Galinsky is saying in this class action suit that King's Hawaiian, quote, essentially invented this category of food. Points to legal action that the company has taken against brands that use its trademark design, emphasizing orange colors and the term Hawaiian Rolls. If you and I owned a bakery and we wanted to make Hawaiian Rolls, the people at King's would come knocking on the door with a cease and desist.
Although I've seen other Hawaiian Rolls.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, you might want to let the people at King's know about that, because they shut that down.
No, they've got Hawaiian Rolls, or did have Hawaiian Rolls, at your Quick Stars.
The complaint specifically lists 4 lawsuits that King's Hawaiian Holding Company has filed against its competitors, including 2 against the folks at Aldi. Aldi put out a Hawaiian roll.
They do.
And King's Hawaiian is suing them.
Came after them.
Yes.
Okay.
Galinsky says today's consumer tastes have come to recognize there are lots of options on the market, and we want genuine products. The class action lawsuit here says for many consumers, authenticity has overtaken quality is the prevailing purchasing criterion. I don't know that that's true. I want it to taste good. I don't care where it comes from. Yeah. I wouldn't say it overtakes. I mean, if you're telling me that this is authentic Hawaiian rolls.
I think the Hawaiian rolls that they had at Quick Star might have been in a nondescript, just clear bag.
I don't think you're allowed to call them a Hawaiian roll, though.
Well, I think they did.
Galinsky admits in the complaint that the average shopper likely knows that King's Hawaiian is the name of the company. He says reasonable consumers understand that the term Hawaiian Rolls by itself does not denote a roll made in Hawaii any more than a moon pie can claim to have been baked on the moon. However, Galinsky points out, in the suit, Hilo, Hawaii is prominently shown on the front of the package of King's Hawaiian Rolls, causing consumers to believe the product is made in Hawaii. This is where I think he might have a point. Why would you put the name of a Hawaiian town front and center on the bag if it wasn't to mislead people into thinking that the product was actually Hawaiian? If it just said Hawaiian Rolls, fine. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you then list a town in Hawaii that doesn't make these rolls, why is that on there? Why is Hilo, Hawaii on the bag, or if it's not to mislead you?
Could I call them island rolls?
Sure. Are you thinking about branching out and doing this?
I like to bake.
Is it in one of those situations where, they're facial tissues, but everyone calls them Kleenex? Mm-hmm. You could make facial tissues all day long. Once you start calling them Kleenex, then you would get in trouble. It's the same thing with the Hawaiian rolls. You could call them Polynesian rolls or...
Back in the day, we used to call copies Xerox.
Xerox?
Yeah. Go get me a Xerox.
Xerox?
Yes. Because there were Xerox machines that made copies.
Xerox.
Xerox.
Xerox is something you take for high cholesterol, I believe.
Xerox. Yes.
Ask your doctor if Xerox is right for you. Yeah, Xerox.
Xerox.
Yeah.
Go make a Xerox for me.
Right,
yeah.
Right. But that meant...
Or get me, you don't ask for gelatin, you ask for Jell-O.
Right. I had Jell-O, even though it's not Jell-O brand gelatin. I'm on board with all of this. King's Hawaiian's fraudulent intent is evinced by its failure to accurately identify the product's immediate place of origin, where it's made, as opposed to where the company is originally from. That's what it says here in this lawsuit. King's Hawaiian, not the only company facing legal action over a label with Hawaiian representations. Hawaiian Punch, that's not made in Hawaii.
I kind of figured it wasn't.
The makers of Hawaiian Host candies are in court over alleged misleading claims on their boxes of chocolate. Plaintiffs filed that class action lawsuit last month. Authenticity also in the beer market. Heineken's Tecate beer. That's, according to this class action lawsuit, that's not a Mexican import, despite the marketing promises. Tecate is not made in Mexico? See, I would have thought it was.
Did you have Hawaiian rolls for Thanksgiving?
Yes, we did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We absolutely did. They had a deal where it was like buy one, get one free. Hawaiian rolls are great, but they are, you can go through them pretty quick.
Almost as quick as popcorn, shrimp, and tater tots.
See what I'm saying? The King's Hawaiian Rolls class action lawsuit accuses a product maker of violating New York's general business law and of negligent misrepresentation, fraud, and unjust enrichment. You're making money by tricking people into thinking these rolls are from Hawaii. You can't do that. That's what this guy's saying. So if you've purchased packs of King's Hawaiian Rolls with the expectation that they were made in Hawaii, you can be a part of this class action lawsuit. He's seeking to form a class of New York State residents who purchase packs of King's Hawaiian Rolls. I don't live in New York, but I feel like I've been wronged by these people at King's Hawaiian. How dare you mislead me in such a way?
So misinformation is not good.
Well, and not if you're using the misinformation to make money off of people. But King's Hawaiian has always been, I guess, it was founded by a guy in Hawaii, but they are a Los Angeles bakery. It was founded in Hilo, Hawaii back in the 50s. In 1963, they moved to Honolulu and changed their name to King's Hawaiian. Then in 1977, they decided to expand to the mainland, and they opened up a bakery in Torrance, California. But then...
Dean Torrance, California.
That's right. By the 80s, King's Hawaiian Bakery was making $20 million a year, and in 1988, they moved their headquarters to the mainland. They shut the Honolulu bakery down in 1992. They haven't made a King's Hawaiian Roll in Hawaii in almost 30 years. That's crazy.
For some reason, they blew the factory up, the bakery.
That doesn't make any sense. The guy who founded this company, Robert Taria, died in May of 2003, left the company under the control of his family. The bakery is a 151,000 square foot facility in the Harbor Gateway neighborhood of LA. King's Hawaiian opening up another distribution center in Oakwood, Georgia in the fall of 2011. You know who uses the King's Hawaiian Rolls is Arby's, right? Don't they have a sandwich where they use specifically the King's Hawaiian Rolls?
From time to time.
So they bake them in Georgia and they bake them in California.
My guess is that Arby's has clearance to use them.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing you work out in advance. 75% of their production is from the Georgia bakery. So if you've had a King's Hawaiian Roll, chances are it's not even from California, it's from Georgia. But would you eat something that was King's Georgia Rolls?
Well, the South does know something about baking.
That's true.
Two.
Have you been following this deal with Alec Baldwin's nutty wife?
No.
This is fantastic. So this is his wife. Her name is Hilaria Baldwin.
Okay.
Now,
oh, wait a minute. Are they trying to say that she's not Spanish?
She claims that she was born in Majorca, Spain. And she does these things where she'll show up on like the Today Show and do, a little Spanish dish. Today I'm going to make paella, right?
Right.
And turns out she's not from Spain. And they've taken a look at like her genealogy. There isn't any Spanish in there whatsoever. Hilaria Baldwin. And by the way, that's a name. Hilaria.
Now that is a name.
Hilaria kind of lets you know something's a little off.
Yeah.
Hilaria sounds like it might be a compilation of novelty songs as performed by Def Leppard. Hilaria, the subject of controversy as she faces accusations from all over the internet that she's been faking a Spanish accent and falsely claiming to be from Spain. She went on Twitter yesterday and on Instagram and clarified that, yes, she was born in Boston. And she does identify as a white girl.
I got bit by a mosquito, and it was so funny.
This all started...
I think I've got a case of the...
Hilaria.
Hilaria.
Yeah. That's Hilaria is what you get when you're in the jungle and you get bitten by a mosquito that has Groucho Marx's face.
You can't stop sweating and laughing.
This all started like a week or so ago. She's always posting pictures, Hilaria Baldwin. Again, this is Alec Baldwin's third or fourth wife. And it's funny to me that she might be the craziest of them all, and he was married to Kim Basinger for a while. Hilaria might be even nuttier than she was. But her gimmick is that she's a yoga instructor, and she's always just posting these pictures of herself in her underpants doing yoga poses. She had one the other day where it was her and her newborn baby, Eduardo. And
and this is a baby. This is Alec Baldwin's baby,
or
just a baby.
No, it's their baby, Eduardo. All of the kids are named like Eduardo and Margarita, and because she's so Spanish, you see.
Yeah,
which is weird because she was born in Boston, which is not in Spain.
No.
Decidedly not in Spain. Massachusetts and Spain.
Different places.
I mean, there's literally an ocean between them, yes. The gimmick was she had this picture where she's walking around in like black underpants with a newborn baby, And she's got this rockin' hard body. It's something else. And Amy Schuster. Amy Schumer posted a picture, just took that picture and was like, here I am with my baby. Like, it's because it's ridiculous that that's how somebody looks.
That someone looks.
And then people started to pile on this hilaria. And then people were pointing out, her accent's fake. She's not from Spain. So her whole industry is that she's this exotic Spanish yoga instructor, but she's not from Spain at all. Over the years, Hilaria Baldwin has said that she first moved to the United States from Spain when she was 19 so she could study at NYU, which is tricky because everyone that went to high school with her in Boston remembers her. Her name was Hillary. No, I come to your country when I was, 19. People remember her in high school in Boston. Her parents moved to Spain. But her parents moved to Spain in 2011.
To retire.
Yes. Yes. She gets married in 2012 to Alec Baldwin, and then they're asking her questions about, what's your life like? And she pours on this
and they go on a
Spanish
baby spree
accent.
at that time.
Here she is on Extra talking with somebody. Listen to this accent, all right?
On talk, he said that was as close as he could get to Spain, to my family, and to Rome, because we really like Rome as well. And he got down on his knee, and then I don't remember the rest because I started crying. But
so this is her talking about when Alec.
I don't hear an accent.
No, I want you to check this out. I'm gonna let you know when her accent changes.
Okay.
Right, and this isn't like who were we talking about? Was it 2 weeks ago that
from X-Files?
Yeah, Scully or Mulder. Which one is she? Where when she's hanging out with English people, she's got an English accent. Well, she's
heavy
American.
English accent.
Yeah, Gillian Anderson is that her name?
Yeah, that's right.
Gillian Anderson, Gillian. Hilaria Thomas is talking here in Extra about how Alec Baldwin proposed.
Yes.
And I want you to listen to this story, and it's like a switch goes off, and she remembers, oh, wait. My whole grift is that I'm some sort of Spanish person, right?
But yeah, he's very romantic.
Is he?
Yeah.
Look at your face. You're just turning so
I'm
cute.
turning all red now.
He seems like a big romantic guy.
Yeah. Well, he's real. He's real.
I am not.
There's no.
I'm how you say phony baloney.
It's not fake. He's real. So.
I see the love. I see the sparkle.
This guy
There's a lot of love. There's a lot of sparkle. See, now I'm a blushing bride. Look what you're doing to me. You're making me into like one of those cheesy brides.
He picked.
Now, again,
This guy is the worst interviewer I've ever seen.
I think he's hitting on her. Is what's going on. He's doing that thing where, like, when you're talking to an attractive lady, where you're just like shutting up and let them talk.
You want to?
That's what he's
You want to
doing.
ask another question?
So right about now,
Okay.
is when you can.
She
hear,
remembers.
You can hear a switch go off in this hilarious head, and she remembers. Oh, wait a minute! I'm supposed to be from Spain. Listen to this.
Pick it out all by himself.
More or less, yeah.
More. Okay. Did you have any?
Well, I mean, with us, everything is.
That's beautiful.
We talk about everything. We don't have.
Really?
We don't have secrets.
Ilari is doing all of that. He
Yeah,
said she.
he told me that.
Did he?
Said, well, something about whatever the woman wants.
He said she can have whatever she wants. So have you even thought about it? You have any idea what you want?
I've never really thought about being a bride before.
Really?
No, I mean when I was 3. Now something really simple. I don't like drama.
I don't like drama. At one point, she goes on the Today Show, and this is what's got her in a real pickle. She's on the Today Show, and her accent is even heavier, and she pretends she doesn't remember what the English word for cucumber is. She literally does what's the word in the English?
How you say
cucumber?
Well,
But then she'll get rid
what's
of
the word for it in Spanish?
It's a much better word. It's pepino.
Pepino.
Pepino is the word for cucumber in Spanish.
That is better.
That's a much better word than cucumber. But she's like, and then you use your, what's the word for that in English? What's the word for that in English? You're from Boston, sweetheart.
You're more consistent with your Spanish accent than she is.
So, her kids are, let's see, Leonardo and Eduardo and Romeo. Again, she's
Alec Baldwin thinks it's a good idea to keep having kids, huh?
yeah. What is he? 70 years old?
Right.
Well, she's young. She's in her 30s. Here she is on Instagram. Now this is like 8 minutes long, but for most of it, she's got an American accent. But then every once in a while, she'll like roll her R's. So in this, I'm not going to play this whole thing because it's 7 minutes long. But she'll say like, "Look, I identify as a white girl, and it's true I'm from Massachusetts, but I spent so much time in Spain growing up. I really believe that's where I'm. That's where my
Which is not the
heritage."
case.
No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
None of this is true. She says we celebrate both cultures in our home. Alec and I are raising our children bilingual, just as I was raised. What? So now Alec Baldwin, the wheels are coming off of this thing, and Alec Baldwin's starting to lose it, which is always fun because unhinged Alec Baldwin is.
How many
the
times
greatest.
does he get to lose it?
That's a good question.
I mean,
It's a good question. He seems to survive. He seems to survive losing it pretty often. Now, he's defending his wife over claims again that she's faking her Spanish accent.
I mean, what was the last thing? Didn't he punch like a parking meter?
I think that's right.
I don't know if it was a Spanish parking meter, but
She was born in Boston but grew up in Spain. That's what Alec Baldwin is saying. But again, everyone remembers Hillary.
except for when she went to school here.
Yeah. Yeah, that this is all, this is just this. She just thinks she'd be more interesting if she were Spanish. So now she's Hilaria. She was Hillary her entire life and then somehow became Hilaria, which is hilarious. The New York Post having some fun with it this morning. They get a picture of her as a matador. And it says it's all bull. Alec Baldwin's wife, Hillary, mocked for fake Spanish identity. Did she maybe, this is the question. Does Alec Baldwin know that this is all baloney, or did he get taken?
I tend to think he doesn't care.
No, I wouldn't.
I mean, would you?
No, he's got nothing to complain about.
I'm going to go punch a parking meter.
Three.
I want to play another round of Hey, Am I Being the Jerk Here? This is one of my favorite things. It's from the subreddit whose name I can't say on the radio. But these are people who question their own behavior. They wonder if they've acted in a way where they could be labeled a jerk. They use more colorful language. And what I like to do is share these with you and then get your take, Darren, on whether or not these people are in the wrong.
And typically they're not.
Yes, because, again, the very nature of people who are jerks is they don't question how they behave.
So the fact that these people are questioning their behavior.
Right. The moment you act in a way where you wonder, gosh, I wonder if I was in the wrong, if you have that capability in your brain, you tend not to be in the wrong. At least that's been our experience here with this segment. Am I the jerk here for scamming my neighbor? My parents and I bought a 60-ish inch smart TV about 10 years ago. It was on sale, so we thought we'd splurge for a nice TV for our family room. Well, 4 months ago, it wouldn't turn on. We called a family friend who owns a business fixing electronics. We asked him what's the issue and if he could fix it. And he said he probably could fix it based on the issues we described, but the parts would be hard to find because, again, this is a 10-year-old television.
Yeah.
Right. He said it would be expensive, and it may not even be a permanent fix. So in his professional opinion, what we should do is recycle the TV and buy a new one. And that's what we did. Mm-hmm. We put the TV on the street on the specified recycling day for large appliances.
Yep.
Well, our neighbor knocked on the door and asked what was wrong with it and if he could have it.
Doesn't work.
We explained to him the problems and what the repairman said.
Yeah.
Neighbor takes the TV and said, well, they could get someone to fix it. A week later, he shows up and says, hey, what's the contact for that repairman? He fixed the TV. A week ago, the TV breaks again. He goes back to the repairman. It was fixed, but then it broke again.
Yeah. Like you said, it might happen.
Exactly. Well, today this guy came banging on our door, pissed, claiming that we scammed him. He spent almost $700 repairing the TV twice and claimed it was all our fault. He started cursing me out and calling me racial slurs. I calmly replied that we had explained the situation with the TV, and he took it at his own risk. Again, took it out of the garbage.
Yeah.
He kept screaming and demanded that I pay him the $700 back and take the TV back.
I know one thing that's not going to happen.
Because my family intentionally scammed him. Here's where I may be the jerk. A few minutes after being cursed at and called slurs, I was over it. I called him an idiot for wasting $700 on a TV that was broken in the first place. He took the risk of taking the TV in for repairs and spent the money knowing it wasn't a guarantee that the TV would be 100% fixed. I told him if he ever came over and yelled at me and called me slurs again, I'd call the cops on him and report him for harassment. After the incident, I called the repairman who fixed the TV, and he said he told our neighbor all the details he told us.
Yeah.
In fact, he urged my neighbor not to spend any money repairing the television. My friends have mixed reactions on this. One says that I'm being the jerk because I should have told the neighbor, no, that TV is trash. And I shouldn't have escalated the situation when he came over. He thinks I'm being a little scammerish by not urging this guy to not take the TV and sending him to the repairman who's a family friend.
Well,
Now I feel bad that he spent all that money and I'm having second thoughts on how I interacted with him. So am I the jerk here?
No, in retrospect, it might have been the best thing to do, is to say that the thing's trash. But it sounds like you kind of were saying that to begin with.
Right. They did say that. Exactly. But he wants $700 and you need to take the TV back.
That's not happening.
So again, we have a case here of somebody not being
I don't
jerk.
think this one's even close, is it?
No, I think if anything, I think I know who the jerk is.
Yeah. There is a jerk.
Mm-hmm. And it's not you.
Yeah.
Right. You're good. How about this one? Am I the jerk for buying my daughter a house? My oldest daughter got married a few months ago. For years, she'd been planning a huge royal ball-style wedding, and I'd always planned on paying for it. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, she and her girlfriend, now wife, canceled everything and went with a small courthouse wedding. So since I didn't have that wedding to pay for, I decided to buy the girls a house as a Christmas present. Christmas morning, I gave them the keys, took them over to the new house to show it to them, and they loved it. 2 hours later, my phone starts ringing off the hook from my daughter-in-law's parents, yelling because I bought their daughter a house. They said it wasn't fair because they couldn't afford to buy them such an expensive gift. I told them no one expected them to, and the only reason I did was that I didn't have to pay for the wedding. Then they demanded that I take the house back from the girls, give the house to them, and tell the girls they have to stay.
That's my favorite.
They have to stay in the apartment they're currently renting. At that point, I just hung up on them and ignored their calls.
Yeah.
Now I've got some friends and family members telling me the gift was too much.
Yeah, it might have been.
And that I should take it back and keep the place. I think they're all insane. Am I the jerk here? You think that might be too expensive of a gift?
That's a pretty big gift, but the idea that you give it to us, I love that.
You know what? Not only are we upset that you bought the house.
That rightfully should be our house.
That's our house now. We want that house.
So but the thing is, they don't even think that, they're not even offering up their house to the couple after they move into this new house.
No, that's not happening.
You stay in your apartment because
This is our house now.
we're going to sell the house and keep the...
Somebody needs to teach you a lesson.
Oh, that's marvelous.
One last one. Am I the jerk here for pointing out to my girlfriend that she's overweight? I've been with my girl for 2 years now, and I've known her for 3. And since I've known her, she's had a really bad habit of making fun of people. Mostly behind closed doors, but sometimes in front of them. Now, I'm all for edgy humor. I actually like it. But there's a difference between making jokes and being a bitch. I always tell her to chill, but she never listens. Well, this past weekend, We went out to eat at a local place, and our waitress was a bit on the heavy side.
Yeah.
Not fat by any means, but a
Right.
little chubby. All things considered, she looked good, about an 8 out of 10 without makeup. And she was being really nice to us.
Yeah.
We ordered, and when she walked away, my girlfriend started making fun of her weight. The girl looked back at us and then kept walking, and I told my girl, the waitress heard you. And she said she didn't care. She's still cracking jokes as the waitress comes back with the drinks, and it's obvious the waitress is holding back tears. And my girl is just giggling and staring at her. And I got mad and said, "Why are you laughing? She's thinner than you are." Well, my girlfriend got up and walked out to the car. I paid for the food, which wasn't even ready, and left a $20 tip, apologized to the waitress, and left. My girlfriend didn't say a word to me on the way home. Since then, every time she speaks to me, she starts out by asking me to apologize. She just texted me at 6 a.m. asking when I was going to apologize for what I said, and it's starting to get annoying.
Starts every morning with an early morning text.
Good morning.
With
Have
the
you going to apologize? My brother and dad have both said that I was too harsh, especially since we were in public, but I don't think so. Girlfriend or not, if she can put it out there, then she can take it. I've warned her that she needs to stop picking on people, but she won't listen. The only way she gets an apology from me is if she gives one to that waitress. If she can't do that, then she needs to stop bringing this up. It's just that simple, and I'm sticking to it. So am I the jerk here? Because if I am, I'm not seeing it. She sounds like a nightmare, but
Well,
also...
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Whether you apologize or not, you're still with a fat bitch. That's not going to change.
Well,
So apologize or not.
the fact that you're rating the waitress an 8 out of 10 when you're out with your girlfriend is a little problematic too, right? And this girl, this waitress was hot. In the romantic comedy on the Hallmark Channel, he ends up with the waitress, right?
Well, he doesn't end up with the girl he's with.
No, not when she's texting for apologies at 6 in the morning. So are we 3 for 3? These people are not the jerks?
Yeah, not the jerks.
All right. Well, that's,
Typical scenario.
you know what? We want the house.
Oh, that's the best.
That's too expensive of a gift. Give the house to us. It's the only thing that makes sense.
And we're going to live off the revenue of the house we sold.
Today is your 56th birthday, which means you are the same age Morgan Freeman was when they were doing Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
And he's like, the super old convict.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My buddy Steve pointed this out because we're roughly the same age. I'm 48. I'm a year older than Carol O'Connor was in the first season of All in the Family. I'm older than Archie Bunker.
Yeah.
People just aged differently back then, or
What are you trying to say?
I couldn't play Archie Bunker. No one would believe me as Archie Bunker.
Oh.
At my age?
Well, the next time you get on stage for improv, you should do All in the Family.
Well, that would have to be a suggestion from the crowd. I don't know how many times I have to explain improv to you.
Well, then I'll be in the crowd and I'll suggest
Everybody,
it.
I'm Archie Bunker.
And then do Tron.
Stop. How about this? Jennifer Lopez.
Yes.
One of the hottest people on planet Earth. Super attractive.
She ages pretty well.
She's 51 years old, which is the same age Rue McClanahan was when the Golden Girls started.
Rough stuff.
Golden Girls premiered in September of 85. Rue McClanahan was born in February of 34. Jennifer Lopez was born in July of 1969, dudes.
Right.
So,
69.
do the math. They're the same age. It's just, you know.
I don't see her doing a remake of the Golden Girls.
Can you imagine if they did the Golden Girls and J-Lo was Blanche? I mean, I'd watch. It wouldn't make any sense, but I'd watch. Cole Sprouse. Now, that is an actor. He's I think he's Archie or Jughead. What is he? He's on that Riverdale show.
Oh, I've never seen that.
He was on with his brother Disney shows for a while, but he also played Ben, the kid of David Schwimmer's character Ross on Friends. He is now the same age that David Schwimmer was when Ben was born on Friends.
Yeah, well, that's how it works.
28 years old. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen are now older than Bob Saget was when he played their dad on Full House.
Mm-hmm.
They're 34. Saget was 31 years old when that show started? 31?
He'd been through a lot.
I guess so. Tom Cruise is now older than Dave Maggie Smith was when Sister Act was released. He's 58. She was 57 at the time. Melissa Joan Hart is now much older than the actors were who played her aunts in the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch. In fact, she's 12 years older than Caroline Rhea was when she was playing Aunt Hilda back in the day. Caroline Rhea was only 32. Melissa Joan Hart's 44.
That's a tough show to watch.
Sandra Bullock is now older than Jack Nicholson was when he was in A Few Good Men. He was 55. Sandra Bullock, like you, is 56 years old.
I have to imagine we would have been high school sweethearts.
You and Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the same age Michael Caine was when he played Scrooge in A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Well, that's getting pretty obscure. I mean, Michael Caine is known for other things than that. I mean, that's... Who's coming up with these lists? And why are they comparing women to men? It's just, this list doesn't make a ton of sense to me. This is not that strong a list.
Oh, I don't know.
Wouldn't you compare guys to guys and girls to girls?
Well, you know, Muppet Christmas
as far as like
Carol,
an aging process is concerned?
He's very old as Scrooge. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, yeah, we all remember him as Scrooge in a Muppet movie.
Kate Winslet is now the exact same age that her mom was in Titanic.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
You like that better?
That's an okay comparison.
Frances Fisher, her on-screen mom in Titanic, when it was released in 1997, was 45 years old.
Yeah.
Kate Winslet is 45 years old.
All right, that's a little easier to wrap your head around.
Lindsay Lohan is the exact same age that Natasha Richardson was when they were doing a Parent Trap together.
Okay, that makes
34.
That makes sense.
Does that make more sense to you?
Yes. Then
Gabrielle Union is now older than Marlon Brando was when he starred as Vito Corleone in the
What kind of comparison is that?
All right.
I mean, at least.
All right, Gabrielle Union and I are the same age. I'm older than Don Corleone.
Okay.
That you're able to wrap your head around
that. At least that is a famous role. Maybe his most famous role.
Gabrielle Union is still young and vibrant at 48, whereas, Marlon Brando and me.
Not so much.
Not as much. Demi Moore is 58 years old. That's the same age Angela Lansbury was when she started playing Jessica Fletcher on Murder, She Wrote.
Okay, there you go. Good side by side there.
Now, if you want to reboot Murder, She Wrote with Demi Moore, I would watch that. Will Smith is 7 years older than Uncle Phil was on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Another good comparison.
Okay, so it makes more sense to you when their genders match.
Well, and if they also have a role that you're aware of.
You got a problem with Muppet Christmas Carol?
It doesn't stand out as one of his big achievements.
Respectfully disagree.
Five.
Number 5. They're bringing back red velvet cupcake Pop-Tarts for the first time in 3 years.
Marvelous.
And Pop-Tart fans are going crazy.
Have you
for
seen
this
the
news.
little mini Pop-Tarts they have?
No. Explain.
They're like they come in like a little bag.
Because a Pop-Tart is too big?
I guess a Pop-Tart comes in a bag too, doesn't it? But it's just a bunch
more of a
little,
wrapper than a bag.
Yeah, I guess it is more of a wrapper than a bag.
Yeah.
But then I guess these little mini things are just like the size. It's like if you were to cut up a Pop-Tart into like 9 little sections.
Well, you can't put that in a toaster.
No, I don't think you can toast them.
Are they selling little toasters too?
No, you're right about that.
So
you can't toast them.
These are for people who refuse to cook their Pop-Tarts.
if you're someone who doesn't want to, if you don't want to cook your Pop-Tart, I would prefer to have my Pop-Tart toasted.
Yeah.
Clearly. Otherwise, what's the point?
As God intended.
Yes.
Because otherwise, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah. Well, maybe that would be maybe this would be a nice thing to have for your New Year's Eve.
Be a nice gift to send to Larry. I'm not sure that Larry toasts his Pop-Tarts.
He eats them raw?
Well, I don't know if you consider them raw. But I understand what you're saying. Untoasted, certainly.
I'm not saying I don't.
Not necessarily.
Before the hate mail comes in.
And I'm not saying
I've
that
had them both
never
ways.
had it.
Yeah,
that way.
no, but I would prefer them.
Sometimes you don't have a toaster.
Yes. Now there's a new pretzel Pop-Tart that's coming out soon. Salted caramel pretzel Pop-Tart.
Well, there you go.
So it's sweet,
kind of grown up, isn't
and
it?
salty. Yeah, no, this speaks to me.
Yeah.
Pretzel Pop-Tarts, I guess, have been on the market for a while. I've never seen these, although, if I'm being honest, when I get Pop-Tarts, I tend to just get the generic toaster pastries because I find they're just as good as Pop-Tarts. You know, that's an area where I'll go generic when it comes to a
They're
Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart bites is what they have.
I don't understand the need for that.
Well,
I couldn't possibly finish an entire Pop-Tart.
I think the idea is you maybe put it in a kid's lunch or, take this on the way, to school.
It just looks like it'll be a bunch of crumbs in the kids' lunchbox is what that looks like. Pretzel Pop-Tarts. Has anyone tried these? Where do you even
What's
find
good today?
these?
What's fresh?
Yeah,
Are these available at the store?
I'm very intrigued by this. Pretzel Pop-Tarts with the new flavor, salted caramel. So the outside of the Pop-Tart is like a pretzel, and instead of the sugar, it's salt, and then you have a filling inside. This is fantastic.
This just might work.
I've never heard of this. Pretzel Pop-Tarts. New flavor will have sweet caramel filling and creamy frosting on top that will work well with the crunchy and salty pretzel crust. Pretzel Pop-Tarts have been in stores since January of this year. I've never seen these. But again, I don't really spend a lot of time looking at.
Well, you've been distracted.
You've
been distracted.
Listen, I'm doing okay for myself, but I don't have money for name brand Pop-Tarts. What am I, King Farouk? I don't have that kind of money to throw away on Pop-Tarts.
There's nothing wrong with Millville.
What? Any other new flavors in the Pop-Tart aisle? Because generally I just get blueberry.
No, that red velvet, that sounds good.
They haven't made it for 3 years. People are divided on the upcoming pretzel Pop-Tarts flavor.
Do they have mincemeat Pop-Tarts?
Mincemeat.
I mean, that would work.
That would be more of a savory thing?
No.
Mincemeat is what, like dates, right?
Yeah, you got dates and raisins and stuff, and I think,
I'd be all for it.
Maybe a little ground meat.
Mm-hmm. There's not meat in
Yeah, I think there's
mincemeat,
I think there's actual meat in mincemeat.
Do you remember as a kid Klondike Cat?
Yes.
Klondike Cat was a Mountie, a Canadian Mountie, who was also a cat, and his arch enemy was a French mouse named Savoir-Faire. Savoir-Faire was always stealing cheese, which is apparently very valuable in the Yukon.
It was used as a currency.
Yeah. And it was Klondike Cat's job to make sure that Savoir-Faire the mouse didn't steal the cheese. And every episode, that darn mouse would do it.
Well, what was the biggest hurdle, the biggest problem with Savoir-Faire?
He was so clever.
Well, no. Not that he was clever.
He was French-Canadian?
No.
He was so small?
He was everywhere.
Right. So Savoir-Faire, it wasn't enough to steal the cheese. He would taunt Klondike Cat.
After the fact.
After the fact, he would steal the cheese and he would say, Savoir-Faire is everywhere. And it would make Klondike Cat
lose his mind.
He would get murderous. And he would scream at the end of every episode, I'll make mincemeat out of that mouse.
Yeah. But yeah, you find meat within mincemeat.
But it's not mouse meat.
No, not mouse. I don't think you can do that.
You can't grind up mice and put them in.
That's
you go to jail for doing something like that.
You get investigated for that.
People furious that Pop-Tarts isn't doing an almond pretzel flavor. This is something in the Pop-Tart online community that they're asking for. Come on, Pop-Tarts, do pretzel flavor. Something new. How about raspberry splits? There is a very vocal
What about
vocal Pop-Tart community online, apparently.
a banana split Pop-Tart? What do you think of that?
Here's flavors that they tried and they didn't take off. These are actual Pop-Tart flavors from the good people at Kellogg's. These are flavors that they put out that laid an egg, and they'll never bring them back. Discontinued flavors, because they're always trying new stuff with the Pop-Tarts to see if anything can replace. I mean, Pop-Tarts, you got what? You got your blueberry, your cherry, your strawberry,
Well,
and
your brown
and
sugar cinnamon.
That's it. That's all you need. These are flavors that they've tried.
They have a s'more one.
Okay, well, s'more I'm not mad at. That makes sense. Wild watermelon Pop-Tarts.
You mean you're mad at some of these flavors?
I don't understand why anyone would do watermelon Pop-Tart.
I can understand you not tripping your trigger, but the fact that you're mad at specific Pop-Tarts.
Well, I'm not mad at this one. This came out in 2006. Mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Apparently it tanked. Frosted grape, so it tastes like grape jelly. Concord grape Pop-Tarts appeared in 1967.
They had
but were
to have had
discontinued.
Peanut butter and jelly Pop-Tart, right?
Well, not that I'm aware of. How about frosted chocolate vanilla cream? That sounds almost too elegant. Ice berry blast Pop-Tarts? That was something that came out in 2007, a cross-promotion for the movie Ice Age 2. There's strawberry cheese Danish Pop-Tarts. Well, that sounds fantastic, too. Okay, here's one that I think
That you're mad at?
Yeah, this is too much. Chocolate banana split Pop-Tart.
No, I just mentioned that. That'd be good.
A banana split?
Yeah.
I thought you said peanut butter and jelly.
I did say that, but I also said banana split.
How about guava mango Pop-Tart?
Okay.
That came out in 2008. There was the Dutch apple Pop-Tart.
What do you think of this?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait for this one.
Okay.
A Reese's Pieces Pop-Tart.
Oh, gross. Gross. French toast Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Frosted lava berry explosion. Hot chocolate Pop-Tart. Would that do anything for you?
Yeah.
That just seems like you're just repurposing the s'mores because you got your marshmallow and your chocolate.
Essentially.
Yeah. Chocolate chip Pop-Tarts. Now, those are still available. Is that still a thing? Chocolate chip Pop-Tarts. Let's see. Cookies and cream. I know that's available. It's like a Oreo kind of thing. Unfrosted strawberry. Who's getting unfrosted Pop-Tarts?
Couldn't you just call it strawberry?
Yeah, but the fact that it doesn't have frosting. Look, that's not somehow healthier. You're still eating garbage for breakfast. Right? I don't want to do the frosting. Strawberry milkshake, chocolate fudge, frosted confetti,
Cupcake?
frosted pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts. Okay. This is where it gets to be ridiculous. Chocolate peanut butter Pop-Tarts.
There you go.
Gone nutty. This came out in 2013.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have a Reese's Pieces though. Do you mean to say Reese's peanut butter cup?
Or peanut butter cup.
Yeah, Reese's Pieces is those little hard things that ET eats.
That would have a candy coating.
Yeah, right. Cinnamon roll Pop-Tarts.
I didn't mean to say Xerox.
I would say blueberry's the best out of all of them.
Kind of boring.
You think? Cherry Pop-Tarts rated as the most popular.
And of course, cherry.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're telling me you've got a buffet of Pop-Tarts and I have any of these flavors,
Where are you
I think
going
I'd
if
go
there's
with-
a Pop-Tart buffet?
I don't know, heaven?
Although you could see that at a hotel, couldn't you?
A Pop-Tart buffet, people would destroy that. If you've been to places where they have continental breakfast, people are savages. If you put out a buffet of Pop-Tarts,
Yeah, I bet someone does it.
No, a Pop-Tart buffet?
Yeah.
No, you're asking for it. Anything that happens to your place if you put out a Pop-Tart buffet, that's on you. You can't.
You think they're going to tear the place apart, huh?
They did a Pop-Tart cafe a couple of years ago.
Pop-Tarts show up at a continental breakfast.
No, never.
They do.
That's never. No. Continental breakfast.
You can't make a sweeping comment like that.
No, there has
I
never,
know I've seen that.
You're imagining that. You've been to a continental breakfast where they've offered you Pop-Tarts.
I think so, yes.
No, that's in your imagination. You'd lose your
license.
Impossible. What you're saying is simply impossible. It could never happen. If you were this is a hotel where you're offering a continental breakfast?
Yes.
You must have stayed somewhere where they charge $500 a night.
They will have.
If they had Pop-Tarts available in the continental breakfast.
They'll have yogurt and bananas and orange juice and Pop-Tarts.
Every time you go to one of those things, they got the machine where you make your own waffles.
I don't do that.
Oh, it's my favorite part.
With the
With the timer,
cups,
you take the
little
cup.
cups.
Those are the bomb, man. You put the batter in the cup and then you pour it on the waffle maker. You never do that?
It looks like the stuff that you feed birds at the zoo.
Maybe it is.
When you go into the butterfly tent.
Have you ever had a continental breakfast at a hotel and thought, that was delicious?
I bet if you've ever been to a hotel continental breakfast and seen Pop-Tarts, you let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
On the Snowstar Extreme Sports text line.
I'm not going to sit here and wait by the text line, though, because it
happens.
I think this is something that you've imagined.
No, it happens.
Angry Moose texting in here. It says, I've always thought Pop-Tart should make a double stuffed Pop-Tart like Oreo does. So you have double the stuffing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could still get it in the toaster, right?
That's called a burrito.
This is from Lawyer Joe. Lawyer Joe says, Dave, Darren is right. I totally have had Pop-Tarts at a continental breakfast. The only problem is the hotel doesn't go name brand, and you get bootleg toaster pastries. By the way, cherry and strawberry are much better than blueberry. Get with it, man. Cheers.
Well, there you go.
Well, that's first of all, you're entitled to your opinion, but it simply isn't true. It simply isn't true that cherry and strawberry are better than blueberry.
But he's had Pop-Tarts at a continental breakfast.
Well, I mean, so he claims.
Well, what else can he do?
You can say anything you want on text. I would prefer a generic toaster. If you're telling me that there's a continental breakfast, you can get a toaster.
I mean,
pastry.
I don't know that when you're going to be at a hotel next. I have no idea when that's going to happen.
Quite some time.
I got you.
Yeah.
But when you make your way to that continental breakfast, I would say it's probably a 50-50
Do you
chance.
think it's possible that I've been at a hotel
Yes.
that's offered Pop-Tarts
And you didn't-
and my eagle eye somehow wasn't able to spot it?
I think it's quite possible that you were so fixated on that you were going to make your own waffle that you're dancing around in your pajama pants and you're almost as if, and you got your slippers on, it's almost like you're floating on air because you are so excited like a man-child that you get to make your own waffle that you don't even see the Pop-Tarts that are available. Is that not possible?
The way you frame it, that is entirely possible.
Yes.
I'm
You've
willing
got this big, giant smile on your face, and you're thinking, I wonder if I can even eat 2 of these. That I'll make one, and then I'll even make a second one with the little cups of batter that they have there. That's the whole thing. You're fixated on it completely.
that I just get so excited about the waffle
You don't
machine
even pay attention.
that I'm not even, I can't see the forest for the trees.
You're not looking at the cereal. You're not looking at the Pop-Tarts. You're not looking at the yogurt. You're not looking at the fruits.
But see, I know all of those things are there. I've seen all of those things. I do know all of those things are there. I would have noticed that there were Pop-Tarts available.
Yeah, but you've got such a smile on your face.
I do.
And your eyes are just
denying it.
lit up with
The hotel
waffle batter.
The hotel waffle machine makes me very happy.
Do you have a waffle machine at home?
Yeah, never use it.
Why not?
I don't know, because you can't turn it over. I like the turning it over business. And I like that there's a counter.
Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you got one that turned over, would you get rid of the other one?
I don't even know where the other one is. It's somewhere in the drawer where all of the kitchen gadgets go to die.
Did you have a big waffle iron when you were a kid? Because we had one when we were. I mean, and it's big.
Yeah, it was like
I mean,
it's like the size of a manhole.
You're making 4 waffles.
Yeah, I don't know that we did. Waffles was something rich people ate. We would have pancakes And we were grateful for them. I don't know that we had a waffle machine or a waffle maker when I was a kid. I don't think that we did.
We didn't have waffles a ton, but I know we had a waffle iron.
See, we had the electric skillet from Presto, and that thing cranked out the pancakes like nobody's business. I don't think we had waffles. That's an occasion when you're having a waffle.
Yeah.
And then I know 20 years ago I got one of those little waffle machines. You know, the little waffle press. What's it called? Just a waffle maker.
Yeah.
I think
waffle iron.
I think I used it and once or twice and thought,
But it didn't turn over.
No, I want the whole. I like it's the works. I like the works, man. I like that you get your batter in a little cup, and then you time it and it beeps. Like, that's what I want. If I could get one of those for my home,
yeah,
I'd use it every day.
Every day?
Every day I'd find an excuse to use it. We're having waffles again, everybody. Get out of the way. First, I'm going to needlessly pour the batter in these cups.
We must kill him. Enough with that waffle iron.
Dave and Darren.
The plot is afoot.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so.
I didn't think it'd be like this.
What a spectacular birthday episode that was.
What a spooktacular.
It was Darren's birthday spooktacular. We hope you enjoyed. I know I did.
It was brought to you by Nature's Treatment of Illinois. They've got a location in Milan on Tech Drive and also on West Main Street in Galesburg. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter and connect with Nature's Treatment on Twitter and also Instagram.
Until we get a chance to do another one of these podcasts for you, thanks so much for listening. Patrons, we will have a patron-only show here in the next couple of days.
That's right.
We will have it in before the end of the year.
That's a promise.
That's our plan.
We have a plan to promise that.
Till we get a chance to do it again, hang loose, kooks.
And you stay classy and safe, Quad Cities.
Come on, Quad Cities, representing. This is for the Quad Cities record spot. Davenport, yeah, we keeping it locked. Rock guys, come on, and it just don't stop. East Moline, yeah, they keeping it hot.
Thank you, all dear friends, for coming to my